From my apartment, it's Rob Has a Podcast. And now here's the guy who's got the fear buds in, ready to go to talk about eviction number 2 from Big Brother 20. So excited because we've got a great show for you tonight and a fantastic guest here on eviction night to talk about everything that's going on. Welcome from Big Brother 19. I call him Swaggy K. Please welcome the great Kevin Schluber. Kevin.
Hi, everybody. How you doing out there? Rob is a podcast. Everyone, how you guys doing?
Yes, Kevin. So excited to have you here with us tonight.
It's a pleasure. It's my pleasure to be here with you guys tonight.
Yes, very excited to have you here on eviction night and then to talk about everything else going on as well with the live feeds and much more. The great Melissa Denny is here as well. Melissa, how are you?
I'm very good, and I'm very excited to be here talking with Kevin. I was just explaining before we went live that one of the few clips that I show all of my friends, even those who don't watch Big Brother, is that clip of Kevin retelling the story of when he thought Christmas might have thought he was smelling her butt as she stood up. And I think it's like the funniest thing ever.
Kevin, do you remember this?
Yes, yes, I remember it. Listen, we had just got in there a couple weeks, okay? And all the girls are in the bathroom all the time. I mean, all the time. I mean, they sit right in front of the bathroom where you go to the bathroom. And so when I would go to the bathroom, I'd flush the toilet like 20 times because, you don't want the girls sitting out there listening to you go to the bathroom. So I'm in there, and I remember coming out, and she was bent over to get something, and I at the same time bent over and accidentally was very close to a certain part of her body. And I was like, oh, my God, I hope she doesn't think that I was like trying to do anything like abnormal or anything like that. And then I went to tell Jay, but when I would tell him the stories, he would laugh so hard that I never got to finish the story. He would have to wear earplugs. When we walked around, he would wear earplugs because he said that he just couldn't get anything done. He'd be laughing so hard. His ribs would be hurt. But I remember that specifically, yes. I thought they thought it was
Melissa's favorite moment from Big Brother.
It literally was my favorite BB19 moment of all.
Yes.
Really?
What a way.
It was so funny.
What a way to get started here tonight as we are streaming.
What's funny, and I remember it. I really do remember it. And Christmas, I really wasn't. I promise.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, just to clear that up.
Yeah.
We cleared that right up from the beginning.
Yes. There might have been butt sniffing going on in the Big Brother 19 house, but it was not from Kevin. Okay, everybody?
Well, I can tell you what there was going on. There was butt kissing.
Yeah, that's right.
That's for sure.
All right. So we're very excited to talk about eviction number 2. Swaggy C goes home in an 8-4 vote. There is drama at this hour with the Scottie vote. We will talk about that. He wore the Swaggy C shirt, but voted for Chris. Who? Yes, for Chris to go out in the eviction. And then, much like Kaitlyn a week before, he has the controversial vote and then goes on to be HOH at this hour. So lots of excitement to talk about. Should be a very interesting week again on the live feeds. Nobody knows exactly where Scottie is going to go with these nominations. Should be a lot of fun in the next 24, 48 hours, especially as we await Scottie's nominations. Hashtag RHAP to get your questions in for the show. Send us lots of questions for Kevin here tonight. And Kevin, you're out of the house now. You did not watch a lot of Big Brother going into the house. What's life been like watching these crazy people in this house lived in?
In my house here right now, I have almost the same amount of guests that they have in the Big Brother house right now. I have how many? Let me think how many here. I think there's 9 of us here right now at this minute. So, I mean, it's almost like being in the Big Brother house 24/7. But, I mean, it's been great. I get out of when you get out of the house, you hit with a lot of things. And, I do a lot of things for charitable events and things like that. But it's been better than not knowing you. I mean, you go to places and people know you. It could be worse. You could be going to places and no one knows you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's not really that bad of a thing, Yeah. And I was well liked. I mean, I don't know why. Maybe because I don't know. I didn't win a comp, so I don't know. People just maybe they felt bad for me. You know what I mean?
Well, you were a lot of fun to watch, Kevin, and we just.
I think it's the suits, Rob.
The suit, yes.
Listen to this. I brought 12 suits. They confiscated 8 of them.
Kevin,
For
why
what?
didn't you put Kevin
Because I
across
thought they
all
took
your
us out for
suits?
dinner on Friday and Saturday night. I thought they put us in vans and took us to dinner. So I brought suits to go out to dinner. And when we got there, they were like, "Why do you have so many suits?" And I said, "What do you mean? Are we going to go to dinner?" They looked at me like I was crazy. So they took all my suits that were like plaid or different two tones, and I only could bring in the solid colored suits. I still wore suits almost everywhere, even in the house.
All right, well, Kevin, we got to talk about Swaggy C right at this moment.
Let's talk about it.
Swaggy C goes home. Kevin, were you surprised that Swaggy C went out so early?
Yes, I really was. Well, I'm really surprised only because of this. A lot of times, if a man goes out first, and then usually they'll take a girl, or then that's my opinion of how it goes. And to take out Swaggy C, I think he was just too aggressive, and people were afraid of him because he does know how to play. He's a super fan, and people are afraid of him. So the thing you want to do, and what I did, well, I mean, I didn't win one's comps, the first comp, and besides that, nothing else. But I mean, you don't want to be so aggressive. He even said it on his speech where they talked when he was leaving. With Julie put it up at him talking about not coming in too hard. He came in really aggressive and hard. You know what I mean? I mean, there's a couple of people that are still there that you maybe only seen once or twice so far, and we're already 7 shows in. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
A couple of the girls are just keeping low profiles. You know?
Yeah, headed towards a crap app maybe this week, as we also found out tonight that it's going to be the final crap app and power app as well coming up this weekend.
Yes.
Melissa, let me ask you, this Scottie vote, can you give us any insight that you may have from the live feeds of what exactly Scottie was doing and how what his plan was here?
If I'm being completely honest, I have absolutely no idea what happened. I was not expecting that at all. I mean, it was his idea to wear the shirts, and then he votes against him. I was very surprised, and his little speech, I didn't get it. What did he call himself, a ghoul or something? I don't remember.
Well, this was his vote, which was very confusing tonight. So Scottie goes in the diary room to vote, and this is what he says.
Hi, Scottie. Hey, please cast your vote to evict.
I appreciate the flattery, but I'm nobody's goon. I vote to evict Chris.
Chris meaning Swaggy.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
First off,
I think
Kevin.
See, Rob, right there, he didn't say Swaggy C. He didn't even give him the respect to say what he calls him. He called him Chris.
Yeah, does he have
You know
something
what I mean?
against him? I thought he loved Swaggy C.
I thought they loved me, man. And next thing you know, like, they stopped me making me bacon and eggs. I had to sit in the corner by myself eating ice cream. Man, that's just how it goes, I guess. You know what I mean? But I thought he was definitely. I'd never expected an 8-4 vote.
Mm-hmm.
Never.
Well, okay.
Never.
A couple of things there with this vote. I just want to talk through this. Let's just play through it one more time because I don't get it. Okay.
Hi, Scottie. Hey,
Hey.
please cast your vote to evict.
I appreciate the flattery, but I'm nobody.
I appreciate the flattery, but I'm nobody's goon. What is he talking about, Kevin?
You got me. I don't know. I'm baffled too, and I don't understand it either. Maybe he's trying to make a point. Maybe someone went and told him that Swaggy was talking behind his back or something like that, and he was going to prove a point. And I mean, but you heard what Swaggy said. We're not going to be friends outside the house.
It's all starting to come
really
together.
Confuses me.
Okay, it's starting to come together now. So, Melissa, is it possible in the couple of hours that the feeds were down where I was watching all of these old episodes of Big Brother, and I have to say, that's my new favorite thing is watching random old episodes of Big Brother and tweeting about them. I had the best time of my entire life. I was living my best life watching old Big Brother. You didn't come up on the feeds today, Kevin, but I was watching.
What's wrong with them? Who's doing those feeds, huh?
They were showing all endurance comps. I watched Big Brother 10. I watched.
You're not going to see me.
I watched Big Brother 9. I watched Big Brother 16.
I was gone in like three minutes.
Yeah, but anyway, Melissa, is it possible when the feeds were down, could Tyler have gotten in Scottie's ear and said, "Hey"?
Yes, definitely. Tyler's a smart kid. He knows what he's doing. You know what, Rob? Now they're 20 seasons into the show.
Yeah.
So most of these kids who are on the show are 25, 26, 27 years old. They've been watching every season since season 1. They know every part of the game. You know what I mean? And so they go around one thing, say one They say one thing in the storage room, and then they'll see you in the kitchen and say another thing right to you. It's shocking to me, but that's how the game's supposed to be played. Unfortunately, I didn't know it. So I would say...
Hey, Kevin, you got to fourth place. You never even watched the show. These people watch every episode, and then they go out early.
Thank you. Thank you for reminding everyone that. I've never watched it.
Hey!
Fourth place.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's because, well, okay, so Swaggy calls the people who are wearing his shirts goons during his speech, okay? And then he like calls out Scottie at the end saying that he looked good or something like that. And so that's why he said it. I just don't understand.
So he's talking to Swaggy.
Yeah, it was like there was so much contempt about it. Like, it was like, I'm calling you Chris, first of all. Second of all, like, yeah, I appreciate the flattery, but I'm nobody's goon. It's like, I don't know what happened, because I honestly thought that Scottie was going to vote to keep Swaggy.
Mm-hmm.
Just even though he didn't think he was going to stay, I thought it was just as like a courtesy vote or like a sympathy vote. But all of a sudden he votes against him. So something must have changed that I didn't see. Because going into it, I thought for sure Scottie was going to be I thought Haleigh was going to be like, just like Swaggy thought, I thought Haleigh was going to be the one to cast the opposing vote. But
yeah. And if it was,
no idea.
Melissa, if it was Tyler that was spilling poison into Scottie's ear during these last couple hours, especially about Swaggy, then look for maybe a third week in a row where Tyler is calling the shots as the HOH. Just as we're talking about shading Swaggy C. Also, Kevin, listen to this. Why does this Kaycee have a problem with Swaggy?
Please cast your vote to evict.
I vote to evict not so swaggy Christopher.
Not so swaggy Christopher? Where does she get off?
All I can figure out is that he was showing attention to, I think he was playing good, a good social game. He was talking to everyone. I mean, he would go in the storage and then say that he was just doing it because he was playing the game. But I don't think he paid much attention to her the whole time. So maybe that was it. You know what I mean?
Nobody's paying attention to her.
And that's why she's not on the block and nothing. You know, she's not been an integral part.
Yeah, enjoy your crap app, Kaycee.
Yeah,
I was very happy that Haleigh decided to vote to keep Swaggy, because I felt like, okay, there's the whole, I don't want to be a target, but just voting, even though they know he's not going to be there, and giving him a sympathy vote, they know they don't have the votes. It's not like it's going to be a tie. So I was glad that she, stuck to her guns and just voted to keep him. I was very confused as to Scottie's vote. And as disappointed as I was that Swaggy was leaving, during his interview at the end, I was a little frustrated, because it's like, I know he wants to give off the appearance of like, I'm not paying attention. I don't care. This means
I don't think it's an appearance.
Yeah, well, he's like looking at his nails. And then I thought that when Tyler gave that great goodbye message where he totally, owned up to what he's been doing, Swaggy, apparently it just went in one ear and out the other. Because then he was like, yeah, he's just in love and he's an idiot. And it's like, that is the furthest thing from what happened this week.
Great.
Yeah, well, absolutely.
Yeah, Kevin, let me just bring the Big Brother 19 angle into this, where so much was made about Paul, about, the way that he handled his messages on the way out the door. Tyler seemed to like, okay, well, I'm going to explain everything I did to Swaggy on the way out the door. Now, Swaggy's not on the jury, but I think that it has to be in his mind when he's recording that message, right?
Yeah, that's my opinion. Yeah, I think that you got to remember, Paul last year, in my opinion, played the best game. But again, that doesn't matter. When you get to the jury and they all start to talk about what went on for the last 10 weeks, and everyone finds out that everyone was being played by the same person. Because when we went to jury, I thought it was a done deal. I was like, hey, so we might as well go eat dinner now, right? Paul's going to win. And they all started yelling at me. I was shocked.
Yeah, why? What did they say?
No, he lied to you, Kevin. He lied to this. He lied about this. And I was like, but isn't that what the game's supposed to be? Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I mean, the criteria for the game doesn't say not to lie. It doesn't say not to play dirty. It says to get yourself the furthest you can get by the best way you know. But what it doesn't say is you have to understand the jury. You don't want a hostile jury. And apparently last year was one hostile jury. Trust me.
I remember.
Dr. Will was shocked. He was sitting there like bombarded, being yelled at. Like he would ask a question, he would be yelled at. Shocked.
Going back to Tyler's speech, here was Swaggy's reaction to what Tyler had to say in his goodbye message.
Any words for Tyler?
He's soft. He fell in love with a girl who got a boyfriend back home. Like, good luck getting to the end. It won't happen. Fez and Bayleigh gonna take you out. Good luck. I don't rock with you. Don't talk to me after the show ends.
Tyler is soft, Kevin, and he fell in love with a girl that has a boyfriend.
That was like the most awkward ending to an interview, like an eviction interview ever.
Melissa, how?
Especially being the second person out. I don't understand that. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you're supposed to go in there. I mean, obviously, when I went in there, I couldn't. I turned 56 in the show. They had my birthday there. You know what I mean? And I had 7 kids. I couldn't go in there. So the showmance was out for me, trying to lay in bed with a 22-year-old and a 23-year-old and scratching their back. That was out for me. So I was stuck in the middle. I couldn't navigate through that. What was I supposed to do? So I resorted to just, sitting in the corner, telling stories and try to keep them all interested and avoid them from thinking, why go after Kevin? He's not going to bother no one now, And just at the end, if I could have won a comp at the end, it would have changed it.
Yeah.
And I think Tyler's doing the right thing. But eventually they're going to come after Tyler. I thought they were going to vote Winston off, to be honest, because he seemed to be a strong, a physical player. But, I mean, he hasn't won anything yet anyhow. So we only had a few HOHs. So
yeah,
I don't know. But we'll see.
Kevin, speaking of the woman that Swaggy thinks Tyler has fallen in love with, Kaitlyn, I'd love to get your opinion on Kaitlyn through 2 weeks of watching this show.
Okay, so she cries a lot, but I mean, there were players in my season that cried if the weather changed, and the weather never changes in California. It's the same weather every day, and they would cry. So I don't know. She's playing. They all know what they're doing. I think she's playing the audience, and she's getting the sympathy votes. So you know what I mean. I think she knows what she's doing, and my opinion is next a female is going to go out. That's just the odds of how it's going to go. I think. But we'll see what happens.
We'll see
I think she's playing,
what Scottie does. So Kaitlyn also gave a message to Swaggy C, who was not super receptive to what Kaitlyn had to say in her goodbye message. Here's her message.
Please don't forget that everything is happening for the highest good. This is what was meant to happen for you, for me, and for everyone in the house.
I would be furious if someone was telling me like, no,
this is what,
this is for the
no,
highest
don't
good.
blame me. This was the universe made this happen to you.
I'd be like, you did this. This was you.
Rob, listen to me. When you're up to 16 years old, 17 years old, you're under your mother and you're under your parents' care. You don't have no problems in life. They pay for everything. They pay for you to go to the prom. Then you go to college till you're 22 or 23. She's only 24. I don't know how you become a life coach so quick. You only lived at most 18 months on your own. I don't even know if she's lived on her own. I don't understand how you become a life coach at that young.
Mm-hmm.
I would think you would have to live some life to be able to advise other people how to live their life. That's my opinion.
Yeah. Kevin, do you think that Paul should have gone with the tactic that this is, everything was meant to be when he sent all those people out of the house so they wouldn't be bitter with him? Like, oh, the universe, it was very gumpy.
I know. You know what? One of these days I'm going to sit back and watch our season because my children would tell me that, I never understood. When I would go into the DI, I would always be polite and say, hi, how you guys doing? What's going on? I would almost turn the conversation around and I'd be asking them questions. But the rest of them went in there were pretty animated and we yelling about what's going on. I would walk by and could hear them yelling and I couldn't understand what they were yelling about. But now I understand it's part of the game. But I think it hurt Paul more letting everyone know that he knew what he was doing and that he was, quote unquote, being the puppet master. If he just was a little nicer, he went down to it was a split vote, so all he had to do is get one other person be on his side, or you know what I mean, and it would have changed.
Hey,
I didn't realize.
Everything was for the greater good, Kevin.
Yeah, I know. I'm going to use that line next time. Next time I come in at 4 a.m, and I'm going to be like, it's for the greater good. I had to make sure no one else was going to be injured. I had to take care of it. So I stayed out till 3:30 in the morning. But I mean, I couldn't understand because I was under the impression that Josh had fought with numerous house guests. I'm talking about almost fisticuffs, and they voted for him.
Yeah.
I mean, Paul got me, Christmas, Matt, and Raven's vote. Everyone else voted for Josh. I would have bet dimes to dollars that could never have happened. I told Paul because he didn't want to. I told him if you're going to go to the final two, you would probably best bet is to take Josh. So I gave him bad advice.
Well,
Well, we all thought that it would be, I mean, at least I did. I thought Paul was going to win, and then you could see the jury segments, and you were like, "Oh, this is not happening."
Yeah, I never get to see any of that.
Yeah.
Melissa, did you like it tonight when Kaitlyn talked about how that this was really this move to go after Swaggy C? She did this all for her younger self, that the young Kaitlyn would be so proud of adult Kaitlyn for sticking up for herself and making this move against Swaggy C, who allegedly was talking about her.
You can't credibly say that as you're bawling your eyes out. Like, I'm so proud of myself. I'm doing the right thing. It's like, I don't believe you for a second. You clearly are not proud of yourself. You clearly know that something's wrong here. But, if that's what she believes, I don't know. I mean, personally, I was watching the feeds. I didn't see any bullying. I didn't see anything like that. I saw people saying that Swaggy was saying stuff behind her back, like, she's a liability. She's a cannonball. We don't know what she's going to do. And so, what Kaitlyn does is just immediately take those things, listen to them, and then become those exact things by being a liability and a cannonball. She manifests them.
It's the law of attraction.
It's just that's what she decided to do. And yeah, I guess if that makes her younger self proud, then okay.
She's a boss-ass bitch, Kevin.
This is like a boss-ass bitch.
I mean, how old is she?
24. 24.
That's what I mean. She's 24. So her younger self when? I don't.
Her younger self a year ago.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
22 and a half.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I mean,
but I don't know. Everyone's peculiar. Everyone has weird. But you mentioned the bullying. So when you watched it last year on our feeds, did you find it interesting that because of the bullying, or did you dislike it?
Did you enjoy the bullying, Melissa?
On your season?
Yeah.
Absolutely no.
No.
I was literally incensed almost every podcast episode. You can watch them. It was me being furious at Alex, hating her so much because she was so cruel and mean. And you and Jason were just nice to her, and she would tear you guys apart. And then Paul leading the charge. So, okay, I'm getting into it again, but you can just go back and watch the podcast, because if anyone was pissed off about that stuff, it was this girl.
She didn't like it.
I may go back and watch them now.
We'll send you some links, Kevin, after the show.
Please send me some links.
Kevin, what do you think about these bros in the house? We have Winston, who actually dressed up to be on the block, but then
I seen he had a sport jacket that didn't match the rest of the outfit. I was going to send him a text, but you know what I mean?
Look, baby steps.
I don't know. I don't know about guys who wear dungaree jackets opened and a mustache down here. I don't know, but I mean, he's young. Maybe the young girls like him.
I don't know, Melissa. That I've been told via Twitter that Brett was doing some sort of a ritual known as the Stash Bash, which he mentioned in the diary room tonight.
Thank you, Stash Bash.
Yeah, he went like this or something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm unfamiliar with this Stash Bash ritual, but yeah, he looked straight out of the 70s or something.
Yeah. But you know what? I think that this was smart, Kevin, because he's dressing like a crazy person, but in this game where you want to be trending, you want to get these power apps, and he doesn't have really a lot of storylines going on. I think that this is a great way to get attention.
Yeah. I guess he looks like he was in the movie Boogie Nights or something like that. You know what I mean? So, yeah,
totally.
With the mustache and everything like that, looking sharp. I don't know. He's from Boston, they say, but I don't think he's actually from Boston.
Mm-hmm.
I think he lives here now, but he didn't grow up in Boston.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. Everyone says they're like if you live outside of a big city, you could just say you're just from that city instead of saying I'm from Wilmington, which is 25 miles north of Boston. No one's going to know us.
Mm-hmm.
but I don't think he actually grew up in Boston.
All right. Well, speaking of the Power apps, we got some news from Julie Chen about the Power app tonight that we found out. We expected the Power app to go on at least 4 weeks to be in conjunction with Sam's bonus life in the game, but this is what Julie told us tonight.
Find out next. But first, the BB App Store will soon be opening for the very last time. That means one more power and one more punishment is up for grabs.
Okay, Melissa, was this a shock to you?
It was to me because I thought we were going to finish out the apps. I figured that it would end when the apps are all gone, but I didn't know that they were going to have to choose between all these other apps. And I wonder if we'll ever find out what these other apps
I don't know. Yeah,
be.
Kevin.
You know what? I think it's peculiar. It seems to me the people that are entertaining or that they want on seem to get these. I don't understand. They get these apps, and like Tyler has an app. What for the next
8 weeks total? Yeah.
Yeah, and then when the show was over, there was a commercial for the next show.
TKO.
And it was Tyler.
Yes. All right. Well, let's put a pin in the App Store discussion to mention this, because I think a lot of people are sort of becoming aware of this tonight, where we saw on last night's podcast at the end, if you watch the new show TKO, and there is a recap with myself and my lovely wife, Nicole, we talked about TKO and tried to explain it to the audience of what it's about. But basically, it's a little bit sort of like a Wipeout type show that's produced by Mark Burnett, and it's hosted by Kevin Hart, and people love it. So next week on TKO, one of the contestants that is participating is Big Brother 20's Tyler Crispen. And I was actually texting with Eric Stein today about, I can't believe more people aren't worked up about this, Melissa, because
That's what I was just saying. I don't understand it.
Because from what we understand, that this was filmed prior to Tyler going into the house, but it seems like, and it looks like that it's a show that Robin Cass worked on. Melissa, it seems like that they seem to know Tyler was going to be a big deal here in this Big Brother 20.
Thank you. I want to say
this is worse than when Paul went to go play Candy Crush during your season, Kevin.
Listen, I don't want to say anything because I don't want them to say anything that I'm talking bad about the show or anything.
When Paul got to when Paul got to leave the house and go be on Candy Crush, everybody was very upset about that.
I know. I don't understand it either, and I really don't. And so that means they had known him before.
Yeah.
So what about the tens of thousands of people who tried out? They never had a chance. He was going to be one. So only 15 spots.
Right.
They probably knew a couple others. I don't.
Kevin, did you guys know Paul had left to go play Candy Crush when you guys were in the house?
Not till you just told me just now.
Yeah. So,
no idea.
Melissa, that have any of the Big Brother 20 players caught on to Tyler is on the hit show TKO?
No, they have not. But
How
I
did
do
Paul
find
do
it
in
a
Candy
little
Crush?
odd.
Yeah. How'd Paul do at Candy Crush?
Yeah.
He didn't win. He did worse than Big Brother.
He once again didn't win.
They may just have to make a show for him because he's been on twice. Then he's.
I thought they were going to make him.
He was on Celebrity.
Yeah, I thought they were going to make him be
He was on
Steve Jobs
Celebrity,
tonight.
And now you're telling me he's on Candy Crush, and then he's just all over the place. The kid's amazing. He's everywhere.
Yeah. All right.
I'm surprised they didn't bring Paul in to be the Steve Jobs person tonight.
Oh, iPhone.
Like, oh, the new app. It's great. Friendship.
Piss. But Melissa, so Tyler is here on this TKO next week. Tyler Knockout coming up next week, and he may win $50,000 on TKO next week.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised that they're doing that and that they're advertising it because, like, I understood the Paul thing because it was like he already was known, so it would make sense that they cast him beforehand. But the Tyler thing, it's weird that I feel like they already, like you said, they already thought he was going to be a big character, or maybe they cast him on TKO and then we're like, actually, let's also bring him in for Big Brother, and they didn't know that the two.
But he applied to be on Big Brother OTT.
Right. So maybe they thought, oh, this guy from OGT would be great on TKO. And then they were like, oh, also we could bring him in.
But why
Big
him?
Brother.
Why not Fessy? Or why not? I feel like JC would be good on that show.
I just don't understand how they anticipate the fans who really want to be on the show, the fanatics of super fans who try, who go to the casting calls, who send in videos, who go online, and I mean, they don't have a chance if they knew he was already good.
I think the fans are really going to turn against Tyler over this. Maybe the casuals really go on to love it. And I think that Tyler's been nothing but likable. But I think people, where they got upset with Paul last season, and people loved Paul in Big Brother 18, but they got upset in Big Brother 19 because he always got his way the whole time. And now here's Tyler. Potentially, we're talking about a Scottie HOH where Tyler may be pulling the strings behind the scenes with Scottie. Remember, he took Scottie off the block this week. He's had a lot of one-on-one conversations with Scottie over the last couple of days, and he may be calling the shots again this week. And then he's on another show. I think that you've already started to see some backlash on social media against Tyler. People could be out on Tyler soon, Kevin.
No, I agree 100%. And I just think you just can't, it just doesn't seem fair to get other people. But you got to remember, even if Tyler makes it to the end, the jury is going to have to they're going to be together and vote. They can't control who they vote for. That they can't
Kevin,
control.
who will Tyler lose to in the end?
Oh, my God. There goes Sam. Sam was
Sam? Okay.
Favorite.
I could see it.
And honestly, I think he could lose to Scottie. I think Scottie's not bad. And Kaycee, he could lose. I like her. I think a female player is going to win this year.
Yeah.
That's just my opinion.
And Kevin, were you happy that they didn't turn you into a robot last season?
You know, I wouldn't get turned into. I didn't even bow down. I didn't know he was supposed to. When Zingbot came in, I didn't know who he was, and everyone started bowing. I'm like, why are they bowing? I'm not going to bow down to him. I didn't know who he was. So no, yeah, I think if they didn't turn me into a robot, I think they did turn me into a robot.
Yeah.
But it's not just like that. I was a robot towards the end. I was listening like everyone else did.
All right. Mary in the chat says nobody cares that Tyler is on TKO, so I have to stop talking about it. Okay. So,
can I just say one thing? I'm wondering if maybe they were planning on holding his appearance until after the show, and then the producers started to see the tides turning, and maybe people were starting to not like Tyler as much anymore, or they thought he was controlling too much, and they were like, you know what? Let's just air it now because we can't risk like losing the fans like Paul did last season. And so we need to keep those fans while he's still on the show. We need to get the Big Brother draw.
Yeah.
That's a good point. Good point.
Yeah, I don't know. But I'm surprised that they really loved him for Big Brother. Like, what if he got hurt? It's a dangerous show on TKO. So I don't know. It'll be an interesting mystery, and I'll be watching it. Kevin, you won't watch Tyler on TKO on next Wednesday?
I can probably guarantee you that I will not see Tyler on next week. I can probably guarantee. But now, since you mentioned it, and unless he's on at the beginning, like, is it on before or after?
It's going to be on before Big Brother now. So it's going to be on at 8 p.m. and then Big Brother's going to be on at 9 p.m. So I will watch Tyler compete on TKO coming up next week. So I will give you the report next Wednesday night. Okay?
Well, I like Kevin Hart, so maybe.
Yeah. Okay. Kevin, okay, let's go back to the Power app. Okay. So we are down to only one Power app left. Do you have a prediction who will get the final Power app?
Okay, yes. I'm going to tell you, it's going to be, man, I was going to say Scottie, but he won the HOH. So
he could still win it.
I know, but America is going to say that maybe he won the HOH. Neither one of the bros are going to win it. I'm telling you that right now.
No.
We can take them right out of it. I can tell you, it may be Kaycee. It may be the
Kaycee is going to get the Power app?
Maybe, I think
Kevin. So. There's nobody even knows who she's going to get the crap app.
Well, I'm just saying she's been cool and she's been not fighting with nobody and she's kept to herself. She had to wear the
she's
thing
not
around
trending.
For a week. What's
she's
that?
Not trending. Nobody's talking about her.
Yeah, I know. Right? Last year, see who won? Were they trending? I didn't even. Well, listen, when they would announce over the thing you're trending, I had no idea what they were talking about. I would be like, what are they talking about? And finally, someone came up to me. I don't want to say which contestant, and he said, "Can I talk to you for a minute?" He said, "You don't have a concept of this whole show, do you?"
Mm-hmm.
And I said, "Nope, not at all." And he said, "Unbelievable." So I didn't even understand because they would announce over, "You guys are trending on Twitter," and I'd be like,
"Yeah,
what the hell does that mean?" But
Kevin,
we were trending on Twitter.
Do you like it that they have so many mojos in the house this season?
Yes, I know. And you're not going to believe it, man. The mojos were my favorite part. In the onesies, I used to tell them all these stories, and I was going to make these little fidget things. I could never understand this fidget thing. I was in a gas station. Right?
Fidget spinner.
I know what they are. Yeah. I was in a gas station, and this little kid spinning it. And he's like 5 years old. I say to the guy behind the counter, I said, what's he got there? And they said, oh, it's for stress. So I'm saying to myself, how's a 5-year-old under stress? I mean, did Sesame Street get canceled? Did something happen?
It kind of did.
This 5-year-old is being stressed out that he needs a stress relief. You know what I mean? So, and then people would buy them everywhere. And then they're nowhere. They're nowhere now. They used to be everywhere in the front store. And now you can get 10 for $1 at the Roach Brothers.
Hey, it's like being on Big Brother, right, Kevin?
Exactly. They should have given it to me last year. At least I would have had something to play with.
Yeah. Kevin, I know how you love the mojos.
You know, when my daughters are out and I haven't seen them, I make them text me or I'll text them. Send them a few mojos.
Yes. Yes, that's what we do. I send them out mojos. But listen, I send out the same. It's like, you know how there's like 500 mojos? I only use like 7 of them. I use the heart. I used the check. You know the check?
Yeah.
The heart, the 100, right?
Right.
I use the blue heart, the purple heart, and I use the fire all the time. That's it. I couldn't, you know what? I did a tweet the other night about fireworks. I couldn't find no firework mojo, so I just put a fire, like, you know what I mean, the flames, because I couldn't find it. I apologize, everybody. So people send me all these mojos of fireworks. So I got like 3 pages of mojo fireworks.
Melissa, take us back to the Power app. Who are you expecting on Sunday night is going to get this next Power app, this final Power app?
It really depends who has the power. Is it the casual viewers, or is it the people who understand that you can be trending for a bad thing, and that if you're voting for someone for who annoys you the most, that could still give them a power because you're voting for whoever's trending.
Yeah, I barely understand the rules, so I don't know how many people are gaming the system.
Yeah, so I think that it depends. It could either be Bayleigh or maybe Rockstar, or it could be Kaitlyn.
Yes.
You're right, Rockstar. I forgot about Rockstar.
You like Rockstar. Yeah. Well,
I wonder, is that a baptismal name?
Well, I believe her first name is Angie. That's her nickname.
So it wasn't actually baptized. I baptized you, Rockstar. Okay.
Would you and Rockstar have aligned in the house had you been on the season together?
Well, I mean, she has a few kids. We would have hung out. Where's she, like, from Jersey or something like that?
I don't know if she's from Jersey. I'm not sure exactly where. I'm sure the chat knows exactly.
But yeah, I probably would. I probably would have aligned. And out of the whole house, I probably not definitely the bros. I'm telling you, I wouldn't have. I probably would have.
What about Steve? I mean, would you and Steve been able to hit it off?
Summer Steve 2018.
Steve. Yeah, he was a cool guy. I mean, he went out too early. He didn't get a chance. You know, I get along great with Glenn, and he was at season 18. So yeah.
Oh yeah.
Steve was an undercover cop or something, right?
And didn't Alex think that you were undercover cop too?
Yeah, the furthest thing from it. I mean, I have tattoos on me that say my brother's names and other things. They're not going to let an undercover cop go with these tattoos like that.
That have names on them.
Unbelievable. I couldn't believe it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. All right. Well, let's just.
Yeah, and then they hid the slop. I was like, oh my god. And I was going to be. I was like, if they hid the slop, can I eat regular food?
Why'd they hide the slop? Oh, they hid the slop on you so you would get mad, so you would have a breakdown.
Yeah. I would break down, but I didn't. I kept my cool.
Yes.
The bullying.
You remembered your police training. Yeah.
Now listen, so I have a story, right?
Okay.
So I don't know if I'm supposed to tell this because they'll probably never let me back on the show. But
Kevin, you are not allowed to talk about production. No. Okay, go ahead.
I know. Okay, please, you're going to get me nervous. I'm going to look to the ceiling. Okay, so listen, I was a have-not, right?
Right.
So I would take chocolate chip cookies, and I would ask one of the guys, put chocolate chip cookies like in the refrigerator. And I would lean into the refrigerator and I would hide the cookies in my shorts. So then I would go into the bathroom and there's still cameras everywhere and there's a microphone in the bathroom. So I would lean down and keep flushing the toilet and eat the cookies. So someone else had to come into the bathroom. So I walked out and everyone was in the bathroom and I didn't wash my hands because where you wash your hands are the mirrors and all the cameras are behind it. And Josh says, Kevin, you got to wash your hands after you go to the bathroom. I was saying, will you be quiet, please? Because I had chocolate chip cookies squeezed in my hand. And if I went into the water, and they would have seen through the mirror that I had cookies there. So I'd go into the have-not room, and we had spikes there. And I would hide the cookies between the spikes. And you couldn't chew them. You had to wait for them to get soft. So at nighttime, I would steal it. Because even 1 or 2 cookies, it's like you're beating the system. You know what I mean?
Oh, my God. A scandal has broken out.
Yeah. In the have-not room, listen, it got so bad at times that we couldn't wait to go to the have-not room. Me and Jason liked going to the have-not room because it was cold, it was dark, you could keep to ourselves, you know what I mean? I mean, the slop wasn't that bad. When you get that hungry, it really doesn't matter. You'd eat anything. So.
All right, Melissa, I got to get back to these power apps, okay? Because we got to predict how this is going to go, because I know that there's been first Kevin mentioned Rockstar. I know a lot of people want Rockstar. I know that people were devastated when Rockstar went out of the HOH competition. It looked like she had it at one point. She went out, and then I know a lot of people are pumped up for her. I know a lot of people, there's a lot of push for Bayleigh to get it, but she did not get a big episode. What do you think the chances are of Bayleigh getting this next power app?
I don't.
I think.
Which
Kevin?
mojo would you do, Kevin? Thumbs up or thumbs down?
I don't think she will. I'm going to stick with you. You said Rockstar. I wasn't thinking properly. I lost my mind. I'm going to go with Rockstar. And let me ask you what you guys think about JC.
Yes, JC. Yes, yes. I think he is actually. I think I probably have him like number 2 for getting the power app this week.
See, so I get Rockstar and JC then, so I can't lose.
Yeah,
I'm right in there with both of them.
Yeah, Melissa, I don't think it's looking too good for Bayleigh to get the power app. I'd be surprised if she gets it on Sunday.
Yeah, I think with the casual audience, I don't see them voting for Bayleigh, but I think that with I know Twitter is really campaigning for her, and so it really just depends who is voting on these things. Like if we have mostly Twitter people voting because the casual audience, like they just don't really know how to vote. I know it's kind of a complicated system where you have to type in the name and you can't just select it. So it's possible that people are just like, I'm not going to bother with it. And so if that's the case, then yeah, I could definitely see Bayleigh getting it. But if the casual audience is voting, I mean, Bayleigh wasn't even on it all. Rockstar wasn't on it all. So I don't really see either of them getting it this week if the casuals have anything to say about it.
I think that the number 1 contender to get this power app, based on the questions that they ask, I think that it is going to be Kaitlyn getting that power app on Sunday night.
Yeah.
This is like a boss-ass bitch.
Yeah. And
I'll say JC, so we can't all say the same one.
Okay, I can say but JC didn't have a lot this week to do, so he might be a little out of mind where Kaitlyn got so much airtime. But going back to the idea of how it is only one more power app, I think that Big Brother is looking at this cast and saying, like, I don't know how many more likable people we have in terms of like big stars for the audience. I know we all enjoy this cast in terms of watching them from the live feeds, Kevin, but I think they're looking at this group like, I don't know how many more people that we have to, really celebrate as America's favorite.
Yeah, I know. I don't understand. I read a lot on Twitter, and people who do watch the live feeds and things like that said that this group, and again, I can't compare them to anyone because it's all I knew is my group. I was never in it after. They seemed to be boring. But then again, my group, there was always drama or something going. I mean, there was 3 showmances, and 2 of them. I mean, there was more than 3, but 2 of them still together.
Were you excited to see Jess and Cody this week on the show, Kevin?
Yeah, I think everyone got a preconceived notion that I don't like them. I have no animosity towards no one. I like Jess. She lived in Boston. She lived in the North End. She's from the East Coast. I like Jess, and I like Cody. I like to just say that I never actually said anything. When he went out to the backyard, we knew he was going to leave, and he told me about his daughter. I went in and tried to tell everyone, leave the kid alone, man. Everyone knows you're going to vote him out now. He does have a daughter. He is a human being. I didn't go in there to try to hurt him or make it worse. I mean, how could you make it any worse? He was going to get voted out anyhow. Do you know what I mean? I went in there to try to make him seem more human and not just a robotic type person. And everyone still just kept making fun of him. And I never meant, I mean, I have 6 daughters. What would be my reasoning to go in there and make fun of someone who has a 5-year-old daughter?
Mm-hmm.
I would never do that.
Kevin,
and I didn't do that.
Were you excited last night to see Christmas show up in the house guest dating veto competition?
Yes. I seen Christmas. She looked fantastic. I hope they picked it up nice and easy. And
Did you see they put in her dislikes? She dislikes piggyback rides.
Yeah, I don't blame her. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was too much, man. He came in the room crying. I was like, what happened? I thought he was joking.
No. Not joking.
But they shut it down. You didn't get to see them. I thought he was joking.
Okay, we're gonna get.
And what were her other dislikes?
Squirrels for some reason. But that was just a made up thing, right?
I think it was just random.
Yes, because she has one on her arm.
Yeah. I don't know.
I thought they were just messing around because she has a squirrel on her, a tattoo on her.
And I thought also when people try to smell her butt, I think was also one of her dislikes.
Yeah. All they had to do was put that up
there.
That
clip up there.
It showed the entertainment level when he caught up.
Yes.
It would have taken anything.
All right. I want to get to questions in a moment. But first, Melissa, could we just give a quick scouting report? If you had to prognosticate tonight, who is Scottie going to be putting up on the block?
Honestly, I have no clue because it really depends who gets in his ear. I mean, I initially would have said that he would have targeted one of the bros. But then, after this vote where he was saying I'm no one's goon and seemed very he must have been told something. I don't know. And if Tyler gets in his ear, that changes everything. So I could see, Bayleigh or Haleigh getting on the block. If Tyler gets in his ear, I have no clue. And that's why I'm very excited for this week because I just don't know what's going to happen. And that's pretty rare.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Melissa,
usually
okay, let me throw a crazy theory. And of course, we've been on with Kevin. We haven't been watching the feeds or anything like that. But I know Taryn has been talking about all week that he expects one of Tyler's next moves. Tyler has to separate himself from Kaitlyn. If Tyler is the one who's in Scottie's ear this week, could he spill to Scottie? Hey, Scottie, guess who was the person that was flipped against Steve in week 1?
Yeah.
That was Kaitlyn.
Yeah. That's a very good impression.
Yeah.
And then you know what he can do? Then he can go to Kaitlyn and tell her, listen, I'm only putting you up there as a pawn. Don't worry, you're going to be fine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
because Kaitlyn put him up on the block last week.
All he has to say is, Kaitlyn, you put me on the block.
This could be Kaitlyn's week to go out, but then she could get the power app. Oh, my.
And then listen to me. The whole week, she won't have to beg everybody or plead, don't save my life, save my life. She'll think she's going to be left on and then she'll be out of there. But I don't know who's left to cry. Actually, in another couple of weeks, I think everyone will be crying.
Mm-hmm.
There's half of them crying now. A couple more weeks, they'll be crying away.
Yeah. All right, let's get into some questions here with Kevin Schluber tonight. And
Schleihuber.
Schleihuber? Is that how you pronounce it?
Yeah,
Kevin,
Schley and then the Uber.
Oh, I had no idea. Kevin Schleihuber.
Man, you can move in. You said it so good.
Okay, all right. Well, you stand corrected. All right.
Yeah.
So everybody wants to know. Lots of questions about Kevin tonight. This is Anthony. This is Murray. This is Brian. People want to know about Thanksgiving dinner. Is Kevin going to invite Rob and Melissa to Thanksgiving? Are you inviting Scottie to Thanksgiving? Brian wants to know, did Paul go to Kevin's house for Thanksgiving? So people want to know about Thanksgiving.
Okay, so as you know, up in the East, Thanksgiving's a big everywhere, but up here, it's a football day. It's usually cold. Families get together. Jason, Josh, Ramsey all came and had Thanksgiving with me.
Mm-hmm.
And then a week after that, Mark and Elena came.
Mm-hmm.
Michelle's been here. So Paul was busy. I don't know what happened with Paul. Honestly, his granddad got sick or something like that.
Yeah.
So he would have come. But yeah, whoever wants to come, man. We'll have a great time.
He wasn't doing TKO?
I already have. Rob, you're invited, Rob.
Yeah, thank you.
All right. Matter of fact, you can do your podcast from right in this house.
Will there be?
How's that?
Yes, I love it. I love it, Kevin. Will there be group meditation?
There'll definitely be no group meditation. I can tell you what, after midnight, the group meditation starts. But I don't think it has to do with any therapy.
With tryptophan. Yeah.
Yes. Exactly.
Okay. There's a question from Haleigh, who says, Kevin, if you had to compare your strategy to one person's right now in Big Brother 20, whose gameplay would you say was most like yours?
I would say that, I thought Scottie was, because he's cool, like he's quiet. I mean, he was laid back, but then he started to win too much. So I can't be like someone who won. I would say, I don't remember. Was I even, the first couple shows, was I even shown at all? I haven't watched it.
I think you certainly were shown in the premiere after you won that money, Kevin.
Yeah,
took your shirt off.
I sweated through a three-piece suit. Who sweats through the whole vest, the shirt, the tie, the jacket, everything? So I take it off, and they're like, "Please put your shirt back on, Kevin." I'm like, and then when I went in, I didn't know I won. I'm being dead serious. I went in, and they were like, "Congratulations!" And I was like, "Thank you." I thought they would congratulate me for being on the show. And I was like, "Thank you." They said, "No, you won the $25,000." I said, "No, Josh did." And they were like, "Kevin, we're production. We know who won. You won the $25,000." And I was like, "Okay." And he said, "Can you show some more excitement?" And I was like, "Okay, yeah, great." Yeah. And that was it.
Okay.
And then I didn't say anything until I opened my mouth 70 days in.
All right. Let's take a question from Kyle. It says, what does Kevin think of Summer of Steve as a fellow older house guest? So, Kevin, we mentioned Steve earlier, but what were you able to do that Steve wasn't? Where, we've seen in some of these seasons where Steve, Glenn, they end up being the older person in the house. They go out early. You had a lot of longevity in the house and were there right until the end. So how were you able to do that?
Well, I was still, I think Steve's only 40, so I'm still like 16 years older than Steve. Mm-hmm. But I mean, I don't know. When Paul had come in and he gave the friendship bracelets out, and I was the first one he gave it to, I think that shifted a lot of people. They're not worried about me. God forbid. They weren't worried about me. They were worried that Paul liked me and that maybe if they went against me, that he would go against them. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And then when they see my epic comp play, they decided, why should we even get rid of this guy? There's nothing to worry about, And I used to tell stories and we'd hang out. It'd be like if I took you guys to the bar in Boston to hang out.
And the house is boring, right?
Yeah, we had story time, man.
Okay.
I definitely think it's your ability to get along with people of all ages and be able to tell fun stories, and you're like a good person to have around. So I totally think that that's what it was. Okay.
All right. Let me go to that everything's all messed up now. Let's go to this question. Who did Kevin like more, Chris or Swaggy?
Who did I like more?
Which person did you like more, Kevin?
I think at the end, if he had just went in as Chris, it would have been better off, my opinion.
Yes, I think that makes the most sense.
Because going in as Swaggy, you almost have people already from the beginning, like he thinks he's Swaggy, whatever. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So yeah, I would have went in as Chris. How many shirts did he bring in that said Swaggy? Every day he had a different shirt on, different color. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he gave them away. He needed like one of those potato cannons, when you go to a Met game.
I know, unbelievable.
I liked that he gave them away and wasn't trying to sell them after the show, because I really thought that was going to happen. It's like, okay, I'm going to make some, extra money after the show and try and sell them, which probably would have been a good idea. But at the same time, I liked that he just, gave them away as like a parting gift.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Let's go to Kevin. What poster is behind you?
The Bronx Tale.
Yes. Okay. People are excited to see it. Yes. Can you show us that poster? Okay.
Can you see it there?
Yes.
Yeah.
One of my favorite movies.
It's a great movie.
Yeah, it's like it was almost like how we grew up in my neighborhood. It was similar to that.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So I try to tell people that, but they, no one believes. You know what happens at the end? Everyone gets so deceptive and it's manipulating that no one believes anything anyone says. Like, wait till you see in another 5 weeks. No one's going to believe anything anyone says. At the beginning, it's pretty easy because you have people say things that no one really cares. But when it gets down to the end and they're trying for the money really hard, it gets really, they stop making breakfast for you. They stop looking at you and things like that. So That's just how it is.
Okay. So another couple of questions here with Kevin. Adam wants to know, is this the first season where the house gets clap after the nominees' eviction speeches? Melissa, is this a thing?
I guess so. I don't know.
You know what? What I don't understand is how they should be more polite. They should say hi to Julie and wish her a good night. And then I always used to say, hi, how are you doing, Julie? I hope you have a good night. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And things like that. They get in there and I don't know. They seem to just know more about it than me. I don't know if they know more about life, but they know more about the TV show. Yeah. I don't know how they know in life, but they know more about the show.
Okay, this is a question from Hairline who says, how many stars does Rachel get for her math conversation? I think the answer to that would be
0 stars!
And then Murray wants to know, is Kevin Rachel's math tutor?
Yes, I know. That guy was funny. You know, he was on our show too. You know that, right?
Yeah,
he came on.
That's the guy. That's
when,
the same guy with Ramsey that when he in the veto that he won.
I think yes, he was the one where we threw trash. They threw trash on Cody, and remember they had guys would run out in the middle and start yelling at you, things like that.
Yeah.
I think
the one where Jess won.
Yeah, one of them. You know the one we had to hold the pan on the thing. You had to hold up. I lasted a full 17 seconds. I may have set the record there. 17 seconds where I was out.
Okay. Aubrey wants to know, is Kevin wearing Paul's friendship bracelet? Is that true, Kevin?
No.
Friendship.
I have bracelets my daughter gave me and bracelets here. No, Paul's friendship bracelet. I gave it back to him during the show when Raven left. So he gave it to Raven. And I didn't understand why, but it was a good move on his behalf because she was going to the jury and he wanted to give her a friendship bracelet. So when she got to the jury, he would get her vote, which he did.
Yeah.
But I never got a friendship bracelet back. Paul, if you're watching, you owe me a friendship bracelet.
Kevin, Lyndon wants to know, who could lose to a shoe on this season?
Lose to a shoe. It looks like Swaggy C, I guess. I don't know. I don't know. Listen, I had nothing else to say. I didn't want to yell at the girl. I mean, I have daughters, so she got me really aggravated. They were saying that an 84-year-old man could beat me. So I said a shoe could beat you. You would lose if a shoe went up. You would lose to a shoe.
Yeah.
I didn't know what else. Because you know what I was going to say? I looked to the right. There was a crutch and a shoe. And if I said crutch, they would have gotten all upset. So I said a shoe.
Anti-Christmas.
Exactly. You can't win.
All right.
You know what I mean?
Chris wants to know, what was your favorite part about Big Brother 19, Kevin?
Well, everyone asked me that. I make the joke leaving when it ended. But no, it wasn't. My best part was walking the yard with Jason, telling stories. Did you guys watch the live feeds? I used to tell him.
I used to watch all your stories.
Very fun. I used to tell him the funniest stories. I'm telling you, man. I told him about how the people visit the zoo and they act like the animal behind the glass, and the animal's looking at them like, what the hell are you doing, you know? Yeah.
You have a favorite story from the Big Brother house? Besides eating cookies in the refrigerator?
So we had got there, and they were supposed to give, when you first get there, they gave you like 2 bottles of champagne. So the next night, we're all sitting in the Austin Powers room. I call it the sex room, but little do you know, you better just call it the Austin Powers room. You know, the wave type room? So I say to Ramsey's sitting there, and I was like, oh man, I just left the DR. They just filled the storage room with 5 bottles of champagne. You just got to go get it. Listen, ever see the cartoon where the guy jumps up and his feet doesn't touch the ground? Ramsey was so excited.
For the champagne?
Thinking we really had champagne. He ran to the storage room, and he come back out. You could see the look on his face. And he was like, and they were like, there's just no champagne in there. He thought I had champagne. And that's the same thing I did to Josh about the Chinese food. I told him the Chinese food orders, and there were none in there.
Yeah.
But I don't know. My favorite story was just sitting up at night telling stories about my neighborhood and telling them about I told him about 74 Fenwick Road, which was like it was like an asylum type thing and things like that. They just loved the stories. I can remember Josh would come in and he'd put his hands on his face like this and sit down and say, okay, wait, let me get comfortable. He would get comfortable in his bed, put the pillows behind him, and he said, okay, you guys can turn the lights off, but you got to turn the light on if we were talking. So I would tell him a story and just go on, and he would love it. He said, tomorrow night, please, another story. So story time ended up becoming the best part of it.
Okay. This is a question. Melissa, can you make out what this tweet says? Best night ever?
Yeah.
What's that?
Best night ever. I didn't something.
Oh, I think this girl
Swaggy-
got the Swaggy C shirt. There you go. So congratulations. UB was no Kevin. When are you going on TKO?
TKO, man, you're kidding me? I didn't make it. I didn't do good in one comp. But I mean, I don't know. If I put me on TKO, I'm too tall for it, I think.
No, that's good. Tall is good. Tall is good because then you could make those leaps.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to start working out now. You're gonna be starting, Rob. Tomorrow it's back to the working out.
Okay. All right. Let's talk about what's coming up here on RHAP. Of course, Amy and Haleigh are back with more of the Bachelorette coverage, episode number 7. Melissa, I'm hearing that not everybody loves this season of the Bachelorette.
Yeah, I actually haven't. I need to.
I saw
get
Bill
caught up.
Simmons tweet about that. He said that this was not a great season, but check out what Amy and Haleigh have to say for the.
But I'm winning the draft.
Okay, well that's something. That's something because that you need to win one draft.
I know, just one, please.
Okay, episode 7 recap is up, and then of course you want to know what Scottie is thinking overnight. Of course, check out Taryn Armstrong with the live feed update, 10 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Pacific. We have a lot of fun chatting every morning, watching what Taryn has to say on the live feed update, and then check this out. This is the tonight's podcast, Big Brother. 20 Thursday episode recap or Sunday episode recap. Yeah, check it out Sunday night as well. And we'll have a lot of fun on Sunday when we get to see those nominations, of course. Get your questions in. Kevin, you ever hear of this guy, Eric Stein?
No.
He's a great guy. He does a podcast with me, and we talk about everything going on in the Big Brother house. Get your questions in bigbrother@robbinswebsite.com or call in your voicemails, robbinswebsite.com/voicemail 323-282-RHAP for that. And, of course, we got so much going on with our Rob Has a Podcast Patreon going on here. You can check that out over robhasawebsite.com/patron. Everything that we have going on behind the scenes, all of the special content that we create just for the patrons is there waiting for you at the click of a button when you go to robhasawebsite.com/patron for that. All right, Kevin.
Sounds exciting, yes. Rob. Sounds exciting.
What a pleasure it was. Kevin, I appreciate you coming on with us here tonight. I appreciate you coming out to see us when we were in Boston in the spring.
Yes, I did. Remember?
Yes.
And Rob, I'd like to thank you, Rob and Melissa, and everybody, Scott, everybody. It's been a pleasure. Had a great time. I only want to end by saying, I just hope that most of the people in the house realize it's only a game, and should be taken that way. It shouldn't be a year gone by and people still don't talk to each other or people dislike each other.
What, is that go on with your cast?
I all you got to do is follow Twitter. I mean, I don't have to say nothing. I'm not getting in the middle.
Yeah.
I mean, I get along with everyone, I thought, and I have fun, and it was a good time, and I get to meet people and talk to people like you guys, and I get to watch a new show I never knew anything about. And at the end, only one person's going to win. So you can't all win. So you just should be happy that you made it that far, and you shouldn't really have animosity. I talk to Raven on the house. I talk to everybody in the house. I heart all their comments. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I heart all their comments. So, I mean, I just keep hearting everything. I think everyone should understand.
That should be everybody's motto.
And Rob, this life's too short to be mad about a TV show. Enjoy yourself. That's just what I think.
Yeah.
I have no animosity.
Yes, that should be the official motto of Big Brother. Life's too short to be mad about a TV show, everybody. Okay? We should close that. Every podcast, we should close with that.
With a few hearts. And by the way, Rob, you can take it. You can use it, Rob. I'm not going to patent it or anything. Melissa, you can use it anytime you want. Use it. Feel free to use it anytime you want.
We'll put it on the soundboard, Kevin.
Thank you. I'll have my daughters check it out.
Okay. All right. Follow Kevin on Twitter. He is at BB19Kevin. Is that right?
Yeah, really genius, huh?
Hey, look.
I really went out on that one.
Look, sometimes people do a Twitter handle and you don't even know who it is. So that's good. Or they have too
and
many of
it's
the same
on my
letters.
Instagram.
Yeah.
BB19 Kevin.
Yes.
But I don't have Facebook or nothing like that.
You don't. You're not missing anything.
Yeah, I know.
That
I know.
those guys are probably all going to jail eventually anyway.
Yeah, or have already been there.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. Trust me.
All right. Melissa, of course, great to catch up here tonight with you. You can follow Melissa on Twitter. She is at It's Melissa with 3 A's at the end, Kevin.
I see it. She must have done great in school. I never got an A. I didn't get an A for my whole high school career. She's got 3 A's after her name.
Yeah.
You got to be kidding me.
It's good. Okay. So, Melissa, anything else you want to mention?
No, I'm just glad Melissa got that story out. It made me feel really good about the Christmas story at the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was, no one knew about it. No one remembered it. I'm glad that you brought it up.
Mm-hmm.
And Robin, I had a great time. Melissa had a great time. You guys are fantastic. When you come back to Boston, let me know.
All right, I'll let you know when we're there. Melissa, was there anything else that you wanted to say?
If I can
take you out
find
to
that
dinner.
video, I'm going to retweet it.
Okay.
So I'm going to bring it back so that way everyone can see it.
And then, Kevin, the chat is asking for the hashtag to be Kevin Hearts for all of your favorite mojo. You like to put hearts on everything in honor of the host of TKO as well, Kevin Hearts.
Yes.
Do it for Boston so we can get some chowder.
Yeah, that's for you. Okay. All right.
Chowder,
Thanks so much.
You know, I've never even eaten chowder in my life. I never.
Why
eaten
not?
Chowder.
It's
I've
good.
never been to Cheers. I never been to the Constitution. When you actually live there, you don't really go there. I've never been to Paul Revere's house. I couldn't tell you what Paul Revere's house is. you know what I mean? I've never been there.
We'll do the
And I
tour
grew up
next time.
Literally a half mile from Fenway Park. I grew up in Mission Hill, which is right near Fenway Park.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well,
listen, guys, have a great night. It's been my pleasure. I mean that.
you too,
Listen,
Kevin.
Thank you,
All right. Thanks so much to Scott
Rob,
behind the
take care.
scenes. Check out
Have a
the
good
live
night,
feed
guys.
update tomorrow morning. And my
Rob, anytime you need it, anytime you want me to come on, just call and ask. No problem.
You got it. Take care, everybody.